The old man suddenly discovered, my daughter who can't even open the bottle of mineral water on weekdays. She is actually the champion queen who can sweep the underground boxing world. The superficially obedient son-in-law. But he is a ruthless and powerful extraordinary person. Then when I looked at myself in the mirror again, unexpectedly, I found my long-dead old man appeared behind him. It turns out that you have lived for decades, but he woke up the day his son-in-law came to visit. Golden fingers not only make your body weak, possessing the powerful power to destroy everything, under the appearance of making you even more demented, can see through everyone's heart. And now you look at the two people in front of you. Dad, let me introduce it to you. He is a good person that I met on a blind date today. Call Hanxing's daughter Chu Chongqian and smile. Good. You snorted coldly in your heart, no matter how honest you look. At this time, things are different for you. As for the daughter's blind date, he said he wanted to find someone to live with. But only you know by reading your heart. Your daughter is going to fight in a bloody underground boxing match. Originally, as a father, you were quite worried. But you understand through the voice of your heart. Your daughter seems to have inherited the power of your golden finger. This allowed her to achieve good results. This makes you feel a little more at ease. It also makes your ordinary life more interesting. But I don't know why my daughter had a seizure today. This person must be on a blind date. This also makes you miserable as a father. I found out later. It turned out to be the organizer of my daughter's boxing match. There was a program dedicated to couples. The winner will receive a large bonus. That's why my daughter hurriedly found someone to go on a blind date. You wanted to show off tearing up a wooden table by hand. Scare away the man in front of you. But in order to respect my daughter, you still asked politely, Xiao Han. How old is 25? 2 years older than my daughter. Have you graduated from college? What are you doing? Mainly for photography. If you have nothing to do, go to a friend's bar and help out, smiling affectionately and slightly shyly. But you heard another answer in your ears. I'm actually on an official website called Eyewitness, an organization that specializes in dealing with supernatural or supernatural events. I was recently transferred to hiking. Kubo's identity is just a cover. And although your heart is in turmoil after listening to it, but his face didn't show anything the same. Then he asked what he usually does. In addition to contributing articles to magazines, Han Xingda. In other words, I'm helping my friends check out the store, help customers choose wine, etc. That's a Jingma. Overall income is pretty good. In fact, I have been mainly tracking down a cult recently. Chamber of Commerce of weird creatures. They are lurking deep in hiking. Acting rashly can easily alert the enemy. Zhao Han, what do you like about Chongqian? Miss Chu said that her family members were driving her crazy by urging her to get married, and the bar's goal is too big. It is difficult to trace any traces of members of the Chamber of Commerce. I also need a reasonable new identity. Come and integrate into hiking, Han Xing thought so. Miss Chu, who was hesitating at the same time. If thousands of people are good, then it's good. That was Chu Chongqian's helpless look. The sound of big hands slapping one's face. Big brother. Even though my dad is usually a very open-minded person. But it was the first time I met my father-in-law. How could he talk like this? I have never seen such a stupid person before. But what you heard was not what Han Xin said. So don't care. Instead, he sat up and stared at Han Xing carefully. Han Xing felt uncomfortable being stared at. Naturally start to have random thoughts. What is Uncle Zhu looking at? Speaking of which, he has such a strong sense of presence. Physical fitness seems to be one level better than some. All combatants must be powerful. Was he a boxer before? The suit is worn with such a temperament. Maybe he's a movie star or a model, etc. There is nothing to think about when you go to Korea. Suddenly asked if you would be okay with Chongqian. Han Xing obviously paused and then nodded. Miss Chu believed me and helped me. Be nice to her. You raised your eyebrows, isn't that enough? It not only satisfies the needs of the daughter, but also fake marriage, willingness to play the entire underground game. It also satisfied Han Xing's use of fake marriage to integrate into hiking. Investigate the needs of the mysterious Chamber of Commerce. The most important is the honest young man in front of me. It actually involves an extraordinary world hidden beneath the urban fog. You won't feel sleepy immediately. The watermelon in my hand is also much sweeter. The other side. While making tea, Chu Chongqian realized that her father was silent. My heart suddenly sank. Are the plans going to be ruined? But you took a bite of the cucumber in the vegetable basket next to you. He smiled and said, okay, I agree. Then I nodded again and agreed. You young people make your own decisions. I don't interfere. Looking at the surprised daughter. You waved your hands helplessly. When your mother and I fell in love. Your grandpa still wants to marry your mother to someone else. In the end, we will still be together. These remarks are quite insightful of life. But you are far less open-minded than she appears. Purely because, we already understand the little thoughts of Chu Chongqian and Han Xing. You got up and rubbed your daughter's head, and you'd had a good chat. I went back to my room to rest. Reasons for rushing into fake marriage. Both of them have their own words for each other. Chu Chongqian was pressed hard by her family. Korean stars need to solve the household registration problem at work. Reasonable. At least for these two people. As for you yourself, after returning to the room, organizing clues about this extraordinary world. Traces of urban ghost stories. Paranormal witnesses organization. Official teachings on worshipping strange creatures. It was so exciting the next afternoon. Chu Chongqian and Han Xing completed the formalities and walked out of the door. Legally, they are already husband and wife. Although they both knew it was fake. For ordinary people. Of course, this is something with many legal troubles. But one of them is the winner of the underground finals. The other is the high-level combat force of an official organization. Korean. I am really grateful to Chu Chongqian for her help and trust. So I suggested to Miss Chu. Treat you to a meal. Chu Chongqian nodded, okay. The two of them arrived at a mid-range restaurant. Just ordered some food. And in the secret place where the two of them are diagonally opposite each other, sitting there was an old man with white hair wearing casual clothes. You were worried about your daughter getting along with Han Xing. Wanted to come and see the situation, but now your attention. But he was attracted by the three men at the table far away. These three men seem to be just ordinary diners. But they look at their mobile phones from time to time. Your inner thoughts are revealed and I am speechless. The information is correct. The owner of this restaurant belongs to the second sequence of witnesses. Belongs to logistics. Let the people lurking in the back alleys take action immediately. He had no chance to resist. Recently, witnesses have removed many people and come to hiking to support them. Many brothers and sisters were arrested. It's best to get it from the mouth of the owner of this store. Ask for some useful information. You guessed it immediately. This should be a hostile organization to Han Xing's organization. And found. It turns out that the owner of this restaurant also belongs to the witness. It's just that he's not a fighter like Han Xing, but the person responsible for the logistics. It's considered a hair pickup job. As for the mysterious Chamber of Commerce to which these three people belong is called Zinkin. Star Chamber of Commerce sounds like a very elegant name. But what he did was really unsightly. In previous actions, witnesses arrested many members of the Star Chamber of Commerce. So in order to have bargaining chips in hand, they planned to kidnap the store owner. After years of strengthening, your eyesight is also far beyond ordinary people's. You find there is something unnatural about the waist and abdomen of these three people. He obviously has some kind of strength hidden in him. There is no need to be vigilant, because we still need a guy with a knife. Most likely you won't be able to use the power of those extraordinary realms. Just a bunch of punks. You shook your head helplessly. You can be sure now. Han Xing hides in hiking. This is definitely not to investigate these 3 rotten fish and shrimps, even without the special ability to read minds. With the professionalism demonstrated by Han Xing, I must have discovered them a long time ago. As expected, Han Xing stared in the direction of the 3 men. Thinking silently in my heart, there's something wrong with the 3 people at 6 o'clock. I'll find a chance to solve it later. We can't let mischief find out. You were very satisfied with Han Xing's idea. But then you heard Chu Chongqian's thoughts. There's still time, don't be in a hurry. But you can't miss tonight's game. A long time, I haven't fought with the karate masters from Jixing Kaiken anymore. Let's walk through the back alley later. There should be a shortcut to the underground arena over there. Well, you can't help but be stunned. Those 3 stinky fish and shrimps in the back alley just now. Does it mean that we need to arrange manpower in the back alley? Attack and kidnap shop owner. According to the style of those people, I won't let it go. Of ordinary people who discovered their traces. It's not that you're worried about your daughter Chu Chongqian's safety. If the other party, they're really just a bunch of little gangsters with lots of strength, then they are not Chu Chongqian's opponents at all. But the crux of the matter is, my own daughter, it seems like he really values the game tonight. If you're late, you won't have a chance. Think of this. You ate the remaining pumpkin steak in 2 or 3 bites. Then got up and left. Walked towards the back alley of the restaurant. Meanwhile, inside the restaurant, several waiters moved out some screens from the back kitchen, stacked in the restaurant. At the same time, talk to the customers who are dining. Say hello sheepishly. Sorry, I temporarily shipped some items to the branch. The driver is waiting outside. Customers have expressed their understanding for this. But one of the 3 people from the Star Chamber of Commerce. But I feel like something's not quite right. What are you afraid of if you don't leave? What witnesses fear most is the extraordinary. The incident was made public. They won't do it in public. The words just fell. Even the person with the most confidence. Something feels wrong. Because the waiters didn't put up the screen. Just move out. Instead, it was placed around their table. The 3 of them unknowingly isolated from the outside world. Sorry, the 3 of them felt their hearts sink. Just about to run away. I saw a faint blue light flashing before my eyes. An explosion sounded. Like the roar of a motorcycle starting off. Korean stars don't know when appeared behind the 3 of them. The hard part on the chest shines with a light blue light. His left and right hands respectively choked to people's necks. The other foot just crushed the last person's calf. My wife just wanted to cry out. Han Xing stepped into the pillow next to him again. Can't make any sound at all. In this way. Except for the initial roar that sounded like a motorcycle. Then there was no other movement coming out of the screen. Very easy to explain to others. Han Xing opened his mouth. He spat out a mouthful of blue gas. Even the depths of the pupils seemed to be shining. Broken neck. Or to be honest, you have 5 seconds to choose. At the same time you left the restaurant. I turned a corner and walked straight into the alley behind the restaurant. It's getting late. It's almost pitch black here. Can't see my fingers. Just arrived at the entrance. One wearing safety. The man with the hat stopped in front of you. There's road construction ahead, please take a detour. Hee, the layout of the sneak attack is quite rigorous. But if you follow your own, my daughter has a big heart and a mature personality. If there really is a construction route, most of them will choose to fight, haha. Just trot and slip away. So you have to help your daughter clear the way forward. You patted the hard hat on the shoulder. Then he walked straight behind the other party. This is how the other person sees you. I was stunned for a moment first. Then it becomes clear. Panties from behind without any trace. Unique wrench removed from belt. Follow up slowly. While you are walking, he took off his cufflinks and put them in his pocket. Wait until he arrives in the middle of the back alley. Then I realized I couldn't walk anymore. Because there are about 10 people blocking you in front of you. Each holds a pipe wrench, watermelon knife, and other common weapons. Dim moonlight. There are no lights around. The atmosphere is very weird. The man standing in front is holding a water pipe. Knocked on the wall several times to intimidate. You couldn't help but laugh when you saw this. While laughing, he took off his upper body dress. White shirt showing upper body. You put the dress on your shoulders. Then began to unbutton the cuffs of the shirt. This methodical operation. The people in front of me were stunned for a moment. This strong old man lives a really exquisite life. Is an eyewitness. It's dark and I can't see my face. But I've never heard of it. There is such a number one person among the witnesses. And the 3 people who were lurking in the store just now. You should withdraw. Now there is no one. In the end, what happened? The man holding the water pipe curled his lips. There is only impatience in my heart. I said, Uncle. We brothers are betting on someone who has a grudge against us. What are you doing here to join in the fun? After opening the cufflinks, turn up the sleeves of the shirt, exposing the angular muscles on the forearm. There's garbage blocking my bestie's path. Your hands move to your neck. Unbutton the collar again. Then he gently moved his tie. Said that's why I came to sweep the trash. When you first meet these people, I have roughly read their voices. At that moment you will understand. Han Xing and other witnesses treat these guys as hostile forces. Not biased at all. You have managed your family all the way up to now. From a well-off family to the invisible rich today. Naturally, I have been exposed to all kinds of dark sides. And these guys in front of me, totally hiking, a collection of the dark side of the city. Robbery, kidnapping, ransom. Even to create more urban ghost stories. In the hands of some of them, several lives have been lost. Before you finish speaking, just throw the dress back from your shoulders, directly covering the eyes of the helmet behind. The latter had no time to react at all. Then you grabbed your neck and punched me in the chest. The chest of the helmet suddenly dented a large amount. Spit out a mouthful of blood. You pulled the dress back smoothly. Throw it aside on the scaffolding. He directly picked up the helmet with one hand again, throwing you to the crowd not far away. This continuous turning action, completed almost instantly and neatly. Wait until those people come back to their senses and turn around to look. I found you hunched over slightly. Open your arms and spread your fingers like claws. Breathing like a wild beast. Such a scene. Even the people from the Star Chamber of Commerce. I couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. They've seen witnesses take action. The style of that group of people has always been quick and decisive. The weapons used are both hot and cold. The sign is that it is close to the body under the clothes when taking action. The faint blue light of the bones flashing. But this sturdy old man in front of me. Obviously not the same type as the eyewitnesses. No exoskeleton under clothes. There is no blue light flashing on the chest. Not even using weapons, just bare hands. Not an eyewitness. Could it be that this old man himself is a member of the urban ghost story? Never heard of it. These Chamber of Commerce members couldn't figure it out for a while. What exactly are they facing? And just when they were stunned, you suddenly open your arms and step forward. I hug the guy at the front holding the water pipe. Then exert force on the waist and abdomen at the same time. He directly flew that person up first. Fly a large living person several meters with bare hands. Such an exaggerated scene. Not even in science fiction novels. And in the gap between that person falling from the sky, your movements didn't stop either. But keep moving forward. You look like a chariot. Ruthlessly chased everyone in the back alley. One of the Chamber of Commerce members was extremely panicked. He raised his hand and hit Zhu Cheng with a bat. But was caught by the latter? You didn't take the bat. Instead, the 5 fingers suddenly exerted force. Just crushed the bat from the middle. At this moment, a little thin man at the back of the crowd, holding a katana. Taking advantage of your daze, I launched a sneak attack. Cut back with the sword, but the katana is in midair. But suddenly stopped. The little skinny man looked up and his eyes widened. Because he is looking at you helplessly, he grabbed the katana blade with his bare hands. It was forced to stop in midair. The blade was forcibly held by a strange force. No chance of scratching your skin. I said, you young people. You hold a katana blade in one hand. The other hand took out a cigarette from his pocket. Put in mouth. Then use a lighter to light it with one hand. Took a puff of cigarette. You suddenly used your thumb to break the katana into pieces. Since it involves some extraordinary power, why are you still doing the same old trick of fighting? You raise your leg and kick that little skinny guy away. He reached out and grabbed another person. Punch after punch hit that person's face hard, until the opponent's limbs were weak and completely fell to the ground. Then the next one. Next. Fighting all the way from one end of the back alley to the other. Punctured a street. Your hands were stained with a lot of blood along the way. There were even a few blood stains on his shirt. But your expression is still calm. Not even the hair is messy at all. That look coexists with elegance and violence. Till the end. You slapped the man in front of you and broke his ribs. Another uppercut sent him flying. But at this moment, there was a sound in your ears. Familiar and surprising voice.